Hello everyone, welcome to Devezi. In this video we will see what is synchronous, asynchronous and callback functions. So let's understand what is synchronous. So for that I'll just create a function. Okay, I'll just create a function and then I'll just tell it as long task and I'll take 1 millisecond inside this, and here I'll just create a variable dt equal to new date, and then I'll create a while loop new date minus dt less than equal to millisecond. Okay, so here I have a function. Imagine this is a long task when you are practically doing some project. So there might be a task which take a long time. So now there is no such task to show me. So I'm just creating a manual task where it waits for certain amount of time. Okay, it loops through certain amount of time. Here I am sending the milliseconds. So if I send a 4000 milliseconds, which is equal to 4 seconds, I'll first, when I enter this function, I'll create a variable dt of current date and time. Okay, so when it entered the current time, I will just take the current time and store it in dt, and then I will loop through the current date minus the date which we had when we entered the function. Okay, so that the difference, if it is less than or equal to the millisecond, which is 4000, it keeps on looping until this is not equal. Okay, so if the current date and the date which when I entered, after 4 seconds, where if we are giving a millisecond of 4000, after 4 seconds the while loop will end and it will come out of the function. So this is a manual 4 second some task. Okay, the millisecond which I am giving certain amount of task. Okay, now I'll just console log started. Okay, and then I'll call the function long task and I'll send the same 4000 millisecond, and then I'll console log end. Okay, now I will just copy this 3 times. Okay, so we have here 3 times we are calling the long task. Okay, now let's see how it is running. Okay, so we got started after 4 seconds, we got end, and then again it came to started. After again 4 seconds it ended, and then it started again after 4 seconds it will end. Okay, so this is the example for synchronous. Okay, here after one task only the other line of code is executing. So for example, here I started and then called the long task. So here we waited for 4 seconds to complete our process and then it ended. So this is synchronous. Okay, now let's understand what is asynchronous. So imagine there is a hotel and then there are some 3 customers. The waiter, he will not work synchronously, right? So the waiter will not take the order from one customer, go to the kitchen and wait until the process is done and then come back with the dish and then go to next customer. So waiter will not work like that. So what he does, he goes to every customer, take the order, give it to the kitchen, and then when the dishes are ready, he will take and give it back to the customers. So that is basically an example for asynchronous. Now let's see how that will work in our code. Okay, so for that I will just create another function. Okay, so I'll create a function end, and then inside end I'll just console log end. Okay, so here I have another function end. Okay, as we all know, we have learnt about set timeout in previous videos. Now we will use set timeout. Okay, so after console log started, I will just use set timeout. Okay, and then I am giving the function name which is end, and then I will just tell 4000 milliseconds. So here in this case we are not using this long task. Okay, here I am just telling set timeout. After 4 seconds we are calling this function end. Okay, so set timeout is an asynchronous function. Okay, and this is sending a function, okay, as a parameter. So this sending of function as a parameter is called as callback. Set timeout is already a function, and then inside the function I am sending another function. Okay, so after the 4 seconds or after the process, it will call another function from inside of another function. So let's just run this and see how we are getting the output. So for every part, for one I'm starting and then I'm setting out time 4 seconds and end. Okay, let's just run the code and then I'll explain you. So before we got it started, ended, started, ended, started, ended. After each start and end we had to wait 4 seconds. Okay, now let's run the code here again. So we are getting started with all the 3 at a time. After 4 seconds we are getting end, all the 3 end. Okay, so this is what asynchronous. So here we didn't wait until the process is finished. Okay, so we didn't wait for 4 seconds to start the next process. Instead we did just started all the process, and after the certain amount of time the set timeout called the end function. So the set timeout, when the compiler reached the set timeout said the compiler that you forget about this line, I have 4 seconds, so it's my responsibility to complete or call this end function after 4 seconds. Okay, so that compiler tell okay, and then he will move forward to start it. Again he come here, again the same thing, set timeout, he tell you can carry on after 4 seconds, it's my responsibility to call end. Okay, so that is what happening here. The compiler just came here and then it led the compilation for the set timeout, and then it moved on. So it came to the started again it came to the started, and after the 4 seconds the set timeout was triggered, and then we call the end function so that we could print this end. So this is a basic understanding for synchronous and asynchronous. And in asynchronous, when we are using set timeout, this end is already a function. Okay, inside this is also a function, and then in this function as a parameter we are passing another function. Okay, we are passing this function. So that is something called as callback. Now let's see how we can create our own callback and call them. So for that I'll just create a function and I will name it as first. I will have some data, and here I will just console.log data plus data. Okay, in this function I am just getting an argument of data and I am printing that data. Okay, and now I'll create another function second, and then in second I will have callback. Okay, so here I am getting a callback. So don't worry about this parameter. So don't worry about this argument. You can name it as anything. You can name it as ASD or anything else. So it is better to use callback so that you can understand it is a callback, else you will get confused in it. So inside the callback, what I am doing, I'll just call the callback, and then I'll pass the value deviz in it. Okay, there are two functions. One I am getting a data, okay, and then I'm console logging the data, and in other function I'm just getting a callback function, and then I'm calling that callback function and I'm sending some values. So here I will just call second and then I will pass first. Okay, so here what happened, I am calling the function second. Okay, inside this function I have a callback, so here I will be sending another function as a parameter. So in this another function as a parameter, I am sending this function as a parameter. So this function is having name is first. So in the second function which takes a callback, so I am sending first function inside that as a parameter. Okay, Now in this second function, what happens? The callback is called and I am sending a data dev.easy, and this callback is first in our case. So this will go to this function, and then the data is dev.easy, and then it will console log data as dev.easy. Okay, now let's run this code. So here we got data dev.easy. Now imagine you have console log here as well. Console log before callback, and then I will just console log after callback. Console log after callback. Okay, here what happens, we will understand how it is working. We will run the code. So we got it here, console log before callback and then console log after callback, and in between we got this callback dev.easy, which we got this also in that output, right?
That is all
So
about in
this
this
is how
video.
you can create your own callback functions. Thank you.